Dear students, today I am going to discuss about the continuation of the series. So, in this series, we will see some problems based on the series. Example: show sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity 1 by n into log n whole power p converges if and only if p greater than 1. Solution: here an is equal to 1 by n into log n whole power p. This is equal to f of n. And what about f of x? Therefore f of x is equal to, we write like it as f of n, that is n by x into log x whole power p, where f of x is greater than or equal to 0 for all x greater than 2 and p greater than 0. Suppose we are considered if x is less than y, this implies log x is less than log y, and this implies log x into log x whole power p less than y into log y whole power p, and this implies 1 by x into log x whole power p is greater than 1 by y into log y whole power p. Continue the next slide. If x is less than y, this implies we got f of x is greater than f of y, isn't it? That means if x is less than y, this implies f of x greater than f of y, means here f of x is what? Decreasing function. So if f of x is decreasing function means, and the given function, given series is integrable, integral test is applicable, not integrable, integral test is applicable when f of x is decreasing function. And case 1, here case 1 is when p is not equal to 1. When p is not equal to 1, what is p here? When we are conditioned, we are taking case 1, when p is not equal to 1, so we can write it as integral 2 to n log 1 by x log xp dx is equal to, so integration of 1 by x log x whole power p. Now this is in the form of f dash of x into f of x, or f power n of x into f dash of x. So here this is the integration of f power n of x into f dash of x is written as f of x whole power n plus 1 by n plus 1. In similar way we can write it as this is log x whole power minus p plus 1 by minus p plus 1, here 2 to n. And here 1, this is, we can write it as 1 by 1 minus p into log n, upper limit is log n, so log n whole power 1 minus p minus lower limit is to log 2 whole power 1 minus p. We are substituting upper and lower limits only. And 1 by p minus 1, minus is common from above, so 1 by p minus 1 into 1 by log 2 whole power p minus 1 minus 1 by log n whole power p and p minus 1. Continue the next slide. Subcase 1. What is subcase 1? If p is greater than 1, then p minus 1 is positive. Therefore limit n tends to infinity, 1 by log n whole power p minus 1 is equal to 0 only. Therefore integral 2 to infinity f of x dx is equal to what? Some finite value, that is 1 by p minus 1 into log 2 whole power p minus v is equal to some finite value. This implies integral 2 to infinity f of x dx is what? Converges only. Finite means it is converges. Hence sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity a n is converges. What is subcase here? Subcase 2. Subcase 2 is equal to, what is sub? P is less than 1, then 1 minus P is positive. And limit n tends to infinity, 1 by log n whole power P minus 1 is equal to limit n tends to infinity, log n whole power 1 minus P is equal to infinity only. So therefore integral 2 to infinity f of x dx is equal to 1 by P minus 1 into log 2 whole power 1 minus P minus infinity. Continue the next slide. So here integral, therefore integral 2 to infinity f of x dx is equal to what? 2 to infinity f of x dx is equal to 1 by P minus 1 into log 2 whole power 1 minus P minus infinity. Then integral 2 to infinity f of x dx is what? Diverges, because the value of this becomes infinity. This implies sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity n is diverges only. Case 2. If P is equal to 1, then f of x is equal to 1 by x into log x. This implies integral 2 to n 1 by x log x dx is equal to, so integration of 1 by x log x. This is f dash x by f of x form. So log of log x, that means here f of x is log x and derivative of f of x is 1 by x. So f dash x by f of x. So f dash x by f of x means here log of log x. Here what is upper and lower limits? 2 to n. So apply the limits. We got log of log n minus log of log 2. And integral 2 to infinity f of x dx is equal to limit n tends to infinity log of log n. So log of log n minus log of log 2. Upper and lower limits are there. So what is, if apply n tends to infinity, we got what? Infinity. So therefore integral 2 to infinity f of x dx is diverges. This implies sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity a n is also diverges. Continue the next slide. Determine which of the following series converge. Justify your answers only. So A, sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity 1 by root n log n. B, sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity log n by n. And C, sigma n is equal to 4 to infinity 1 by n into log n log of log n. And sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity log n by n square. Log n by n square. So solution A, let an is equal to 1 by root n log n. We know that log n is less than root n for all n greater than or equal to 2. And reciprocal of log n less than root n is written as 1 by log n greater than 1 by root n. And multiply both sides by root n. 1 by root n into log n greater than 1 by root n into root n, that is equal to 1 by n. Therefore 1 by n is less than 1 by root n into log n. Since sigma 1 by n is diverges when by using p test. By using p test, sigma 1 by n is diverges. And by comparison test, sigma 1 by root n log n is diverges also. Continue the next slide. Here we take the solution B. So by comparison test, sigma 1 by root n log n diverges also, because 1 by n is diverges. By comparison 1 by root n log n is also diverges. Solution B, let an is equal to log n by n. We know log n greater than 1 for all n greater than or equal to 3. That means n is, suppose n is equal to 3, log 3 is greater than log 3 is greater than 1. This implies log n by n. This implies log n by n is greater than 1 by n. This implies 1 by n is less than log n by n. Since sigma 1 by n is diverges by p test, so log n by sigma log n by n is also diverges by comparison test. Solution C. Sigma n is equal to 4 to infinity 1 by n into log n log of log n. Here this is equal to f of n, and here an is equal to 1 by n log n into log of log n is equal to f of n, and therefore what is f of x? Here f of x is written as same as f of n, that is f of x is equal to 1 by x into log x log of log x, and 1 by x log x into log of log x greater than 0 for all x greater than or equal to 4. And suppose we are considered x is less than y. If x is less than y, this implies taking log on both sides, that is log x is also less than log y. This implies log of log x is less than log of log y, and x log x log of log x is less than y log of log y. And here we consider this is f of x and this is f of y, and here if x is less than y, then we got f of x is greater than f of y. So here f of x is decreasing function. Continue the next slide. So here f of x is decreasing function, therefore integrable test is applicable. If f of x is decreasing function, then it has applied integral test. Here integral 4 to n 1 by x log of log x dx is equal to integral 4 to n, and given problem can be written as 1 by x log x by log of log x into dx, and this is in the form of f dash x by f of x. Here f of x is equal to log of log x, and derivative of log x is 1 by x log x. So now this is in the form of integral f dash x by f of x dx. Here what is the solution of integral f dash x by f of x dx? That is only log x. So log of f of x only. Here what is f of x? Log of log x, that is equal to f of x. So what is derivative of log x? 1 by x log x. Here what is integration of 1 by x log x by log of log x? That is log of x. Here upper and lower limits are the n4. This implies this is equal to, now apply the limits, log of log n minus log of log 4. Log of log n minus log of log 4. So therefore integral 4 to infinity f of x dx is equal to n to infinity log of log n minus log of log 4 is equal to infinity. Therefore integral 4 to infinity f of x dx diverges, and this implies sigma n is equal to 4 to infinity n is also diverges only. Solution D. Let n is equal to log n by n square. We know that log n is less than root n for all n greater than or equal to 2, and now multiply both sides by n square. This implies this will get log n by n square is less than root n by n square. Root n by n square. Now simplify the root n by n square. This is equal to 1 by n power 3 by 2, and therefore here we take the sigma 1 by n power 3 by 2 is converges, because by using p test, here p, what is p value? P is equal to 3 by 2. 3 by 2 means greater than 1. If p is greater than 1, according to p test, 1 by n power 3 by 2 is converges, and therefore by comparison test, log n by n square, sigma n is equal to 2 to infinity, log n by n square is also converges by comparison test only. Now we have discussed about the alternating series theorem. If what is statement? If a1 greater than or equal to a2 greater than or equal to, and so on, greater than or equal to an greater than or equal to an plus 1 greater than or equal to, and so on, greater than or equal to 0, and limit an is equal to 0, then the alternating series sigma minus 1 whole power n plus 1 an converges. Continue the next slide. Converges. And moreover, the partial sums Sn is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 to n minus 1 whole power k plus 1 into ak. satisfies the mod Sn S minus Sn less than or equal to n for all n. Proof. Given series is alternating series, that is sigma minus 1 whole power n plus 1 into an, such that an greater than or equal to an plus 1 for every n and an greater than 0 for all n. Let Sn denotes the nth partial sum of the series sigma minus 1 whole power n plus 1 into an, and also S2n is equal to a1 minus a2 plus a3 minus a4 plus a5 and so on, minus a2n minus 2 plus a2n minus 1 minus a2n. Now here minus is common from second term onwards. Here a1, this is equal to a1 minus is common from second term onwards, that is minus of a2 minus a3 plus a4 minus a5 plus so on plus a2n minus 2 minus a2n minus 1 plus a2n. Therefore this is here an minus an plus 1 is greater than 0 and a2n is greater than 0. Therefore this is equal to what? And this is less than a1. The sequence S2n is bounded above, because this is bounded above means less than a1 means it has only bounded, upper bound is it has only upper bound is there. Therefore the sequence S2n is only bounded above. Also S2n plus 2 minus S2n is equal to a2n plus 1 minus a2n plus 2 is greater than 0 for all n. Therefore S2n plus 2 greater than S2n. And continue the next slide. Thus S2n is increasing sequence which is bounded above. Therefore S2n is converges to S, and therefore limit n tends to infinity S2n is equal to what? S2n is converges to S means this is written as limit n tends to infinity S2n is equal to S only. Now S2n plus 1 is equal to S2n plus A2n plus 1, and limit n tends to infinity S2n plus 1 is equal to limit n tends to infinity S2n plus limit n tends to infinity A2n plus 1. And we know already the value of limit n tends to infinity S2n, that is equal to S. And we know already the value of A2n plus 1, that is limit n tends to infinity A2n plus 1 is equal to 0. So therefore substituting these two values, this equation we get, that is S plus 0 is equal to S, and the subsequence of the even terms and subsequence of the odd terms converges to the same limit S. Hence the given series is convergent because it has some finite limit is there. Also S2n is increasing with the limit S, and therefore S is less than or equal to S2n plus 1 for all n belongs to capital N. Therefore S2k is less than or equal to S is less than or equal to S2k plus 1 for all k belongs to capital N. Continue the next slide. And this is equal to the subsequence of even and odd terms are there, and that is equal to S plus 0 is equal to S, and therefore S is less than or equal to S2n plus 1 for all n belongs to capital N, and S2k is less than or equal to S2k plus 1 for all k belongs to capital N. Thus modulus of S2k minus S is less than or equal to S2k plus 1 minus S2k is equal to A2k plus 1 less than or equal to A2k. And also modulus of S2k plus 1 minus S is less than or equal to S2k plus 1 minus S2k is equal to A2k plus 1. This value. So which gives us modulus of Sn minus S is less than or equal to n for all n. Now you have to do some problems based on this series, that is given below. First one is sigma n minus 1 by n square, and second one is sigma 3 power n by n square. Third one is sigma n cube by 3 power n. Fourth one is sigma n square by n factorial. Fifth one is sigma n by 2 power n. Sixth one is sigma 1 by root n factorial. Seventh one is sigma 2 plus cos n by 3 power n. Eighth is 100 whole power n by n factorial. Ninth is sigma root of n plus 1 minus root n. Tenth is sigma n by n factorial by n power n. The solution of these problems we have seen next slides. That is solution of 1. Sigma n minus 1 by n square. Now n minus 1 greater than n by 2 for all n greater than or equal to 3. So this implies n minus, we are multiplying both sides by n square, this inequality, and this implies n minus 1 by n square greater than n by 2 by n square. Now simplifying 1 by 2n. 1 by 2n is less than n minus 1 by n square. Here 1 by 2n means here sigma 1 by 2 into sigma 1 by n is diverges by p test. So sigma 1 by 2n is also diverges only. Therefore by comparison test sigma n minus 1 by n square is also diverges. And solution 2, sigma 3 power n by n square. Here an is equal to 3 power n by n square, and limit n tends to infinity modulus of an whole power n by n is equal to limit n tends to infinity 3 power n by n square whole power n by n is equal to limit n tends to infinity 3 power n whole power n by n by n power 1 by n whole square is equal to, here nth root n means that is equal to 1, that is 3 power n whole power 1 by n means 3, n gets cancelled. So 3, this is equal to 3 by 1 square is equal to 3, 3 is also greater than 1. 3 greater than 1 means, therefore by root test sigma an is diverges. Sigma an is diverges only. Continue the next problem, solution 3. And sigma n cube by 3 power n is equal to sigma an. Here let an is equal to n cube by 3 power n. So by using root test, limit n tends to infinity mod n whole power 1 by n is equal to limit n tends to infinity n cube by 3 power n whole power 1 by n. Now simplifying, we got 1 cube by 3 is equal to 1 by 3 less than 1. By root test, less than 1 means sigma n is converges. And solution 4, sigma n square by n factorial, this is equal to sigma n. Here let n is equal to n square by n factorial. Therefore n plus 1 is equal to n plus 1 whole square by n plus 1 factorial. Limit n tends to infinity modulus of n plus 1 by n is equal to limit n tends to infinity n plus 1 whole square by n plus 1 factorial into n factorial by n square. Now simplifying, limit n tends to infinity n plus 1 whole square by n plus 1 into n factorial by n square. Limit n tends to infinity n plus 1 gets cancelled, and this is we have only n plus 1 by n square is there. So limit n tends to infinity 1 by n plus 1 by n square is equal to 0, that is less than 1. Less than 1 means by root test sigma n is converges. Solution 5, sigma n by 2 power n is equal to sigma an, that is let an is equal to n by 2 power n. So limit of mod n whole power 1 by n is equal to limit of n root n by 2 power n whole power 1 by n is equal to 1 by 2, that is equal to less than 1. Less than 1 means that is converges according to root test. And solution 6, sigma an is equal to 1 by root n factorial. So let n is equal to 1 by root n factorial, n plus 1 is equal to 1 by root n plus 1 factorial. Continue the next slide. So according to root test, limit according to ratio test, not root test, ratio test, limit n tends to infinity modulus of an plus 1 by n is equal to limit n tends to infinity modulus of 1 by root n plus 1 factorial into root n factorial by 1. Limit n tends to infinity root of n factorial by n plus 1 factorial is equal to limit n tends to infinity root of n factorial by n plus 1 into n factorial. N factorial gets cancelled. This we have only limit n tends to infinity 1 by root n plus 1 is there. Now apply limit, that is equal to 1 by infinity 0. 0 means less than 1. Less than 1 means by ratio test sigma n is converges. And continue the next problem, 7th. And sigma 2 plus cos n by 3 power n. We know that the mod cos n is less than or equal to 1. Therefore modulus of 2 plus cos n is less than or equal to mod 2 plus mod cos n. Mod cos n is less than or equal to 1 means mod 2 means 2. This is that is equal to 1. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. And therefore modulus of 2 plus cos n by 3 power n is less than or equal to 3 by 3 power n is equal to 1 by 3 power n minus 1. So 1 by 3 power n minus 1 is an infinite geometric series with a is equal to 1 and common ratio is the 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is less than 1. Less than 1 means here therefore it is converges by comparison test. Sigma 2 plus cos n by 3 power n is also by ratio test and it is converges, and by comparison test sigma 2 plus cos n by 3 power n is also converges. Solution 8, sigma 100 whole power n by n factorial is equal to sigma n. Let n is equal to 100 power n by n factorial. n plus 1 is equal to 100 power n plus 1 by n plus 1 factorial. So by ratio test it is written as limit n tends to infinity mod n plus 1 by n is equal to limit n tends to infinity modulus of 100 power n plus 1 by n plus 1 factorial into n factorial by 100 power n. And now simplifying we got limit n tends to infinity modulus of 100 by n plus 1 is equal to, now apply limit, that is 0. 0 is less than 1. Less than 1 means by root test sigma n is converges. And what about ninth one? Sigma root of n plus 1 minus root n. Here n is equal to root n plus 1 minus root n. Now rationalizing this root, we got the 1 by n is equal to 1 by root n plus 1 plus root n. Continue to the next slide. Now apply the limit n tends to infinity and root n is gets cancelled. We have only 1 is there. Root test by ratio test it gives no information, because if n is less than 1, that is convergent, greater than 1 diverges, and is equal to 1, it has no, test gives no information. Therefore 1 by root n plus 1, root n plus 1 plus root n is less than root n plus 1 plus root n plus 1, that is equal to 2 times of root n plus 1. So 1 by reciprocal of this inequality is equal to 1 by root n plus 1 plus root n is greater than 1 by 2 times of root n plus 1. Since sigma 1 by 2 root n plus 1 diverges, and by comparison test sigma root n plus 1 minus root n is also diverges. Continue the next slide. And 10th problem, sigma n is equal to sigma n factorial by n power n, and let n is equal to n factorial n power n, n plus 1 is equal to n plus 1 factorial by n plus 1 whole power n plus 1. Limit mod n tends to infinity modulus of n plus 1 by n is equal to modulus of n plus 1 factorial by n plus 1 whole power n plus 1 into n power n by n factorial. Now simplifying we get limit, therefore limit modulus of n plus 1 by n is equal to limit of 1 by 1 plus 1 1 by 1 plus 1 by n whole power n is equal to 1 by e is less than 1. Here e value is 2.7. Therefore by ratio test sigma n is converges. Okay, now this class is ended. Tomorrow we have continued with this next class. Okay, thank you very much.